Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The Miami Dolphins may have just signaled their next big move in the offseason, and it's got fans buzzing across South Florida. With the cornerback position still lacking depth following the 2025 NFL Draft, the Dolphins have reportedly made initial contact with former Los Angeles Chargers cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. According to Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald, Miami hasn't made a formal offer or brought Samuel in for a visit just yet, but the outreach itself is a clear indicator that there's genuine interest. This could be the beginning of something much bigger for a team looking to retool its secondary ahead of what could be a make or break year. The Dolphins didn't use any of their draft capital to shore up the cornerback spot, and that's led many to believe they've got their eyes firmly set on free agency to plug that gap. And when a name like Asante Samuel Jr. hits the market, it's impossible not to take notice. Let's not forget Samuel is still just 25 years old, and before a neck injury sidelined him for the entire 2024 season, he was a consistent starter and playmaker for the Chargers. Taken in the second round of the 2021 NFL Draft, Samuel came into the league with high expectations, and for the most part, he delivered. Over his first 3 years in the league, he racked up 2 interceptions each season, showing off both his coverage skills and his nose for the football. He also defended at least 11 passes in every year from 2021 to 2023, which is no small feat in today's pass-heavy NFL. While some teams may hesitate due to his recent neck surgery in April, others, like the Dolphins, might see an opportunity where others only see risk. If Samuel can return to his pre-injury form, Miami could end up with a steal this offseason. Barry Jackson's report suggests that while there's no deal on the table yet, Miami's early contact with Samuel is meaningful. This isn't just a casual check-in. The Dolphins reaching out before Samuel even begins visiting teams in July implies that they want to stay ahead of the curve. It's a smart move. Get your foot in the door before the bidding war begins. This is especially relevant considering the uncertainty surrounding Jalen Ramsey's future in Miami. If Ramsey is indeed on his way out, or even if his role is expected to shift, having a player like Samuel come in could offer both insurance and upside. A secondary that was once the pride of Miami's defense is now looking for fresh legs and renewed energy. Samuel might just be the injection of youth and talent they need. One of the most impressive things about Samuel is his consistency. Even in seasons where the Chargers' defense struggled, he remained one of their more reliable assets in the secondary. He's never allowed a passer rating higher than 96.8 in any season he's played, which speaks volumes about his ability to limit damage even when facing elite quarterbacks. That kind of lockdown ability is something Miami desperately needs, especially in the AFC East where Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, and even an improving Mac Jones pose weekly threats. Samuel's tape shows a player with strong instincts, fluid movement, and an aggressive mentality. If you're a Dolphins fan, the idea of pairing a healthy Samuel with Miami's defensive scheme is enough to get the heart racing. Now, it's important to address the elephant in the room, Samuel's neck injury. Neck issues are serious in football, and teams will be cautious. He underwent surgery in April and isn't expected to start visiting teams until July. That gives him some time to heal and continue rehab, but it also means any team interested in signing him will want thorough medical evaluations. For Miami, that means waiting a bit longer before possibly bringing him in for a visit. But patience might pay off here. With limited cap flexibility and other roster needs, the Dolphins may not be able to swing for the fences in free agency. Instead, signing a high upside player like Samuel, who's still young and has a track record of success, could be the kind of low risk, high reward move that defines smart front offices. Adding to the intrigue is the fact that Miami did draft a single cornerback in 2025. That decision raised eyebrows at the time and led many to speculate that they either believed in the young players already on the roster or they had plans to dip into the veteran market. Based on Jackson's report, it's looking like the latter. The Dolphins may be planning a more surgical approach to building depth rather than relying on rookies who may need time to develop. And that's where Samuel fits perfectly. He's young enough to be part of the future, but experienced enough to contribute right away. He wouldn't need to be the CB1, but he could certainly offer a huge upgrade in the CB2 or CB3 role, depending on how the rest of the secondary shapes up. In a league where the margin for error is razor thin, making the right addition at the right time can completely change the trajectory of a team. The Dolphins are well aware that their window is open now. With key pieces on offense and a defense that has potential but needs reinforcement, getting someone like Samuel on board could solidify their push for the postseason. His skill set complements what the Dolphins already have. He's not just a fit on the field. He's a fit for the locker room and the culture Miami is trying to build under head coach Mike McDaniel. For a team that's been close but hasn't quite gotten over the hump, calculated moves like this are what separate playoff hopefuls from legitimate contenders. There's also something to be said about timing. The Dolphins didn't rush into the draft trying to fill every hole. They let the board fall as it did, and now they're exploring the veteran market to round out the roster. That kind of measured approach speaks volumes about their front office's confidence and strategy. Reaching out to Samuel early could give them an edge once he's ready to start visiting teams. While nothing is imminent, the door is now open. And that might be all Miami needs to eventually seal the deal. If Samuel chooses Miami, it would be a move that makes sense for both sides. A team in need of help in the secondary and a player eager to reestablish himself after a tough setback. In all, this potential signing is shaping up to be one of the more intriguing storylines to watch as we inch closer to training camp. The Dolphins are in win-now mode, and Samuel, if healthy, could be the missing piece in a defense that needs one more playmaker. While there's still a long way to go before anything becomes official, one thing is clear: the Dolphins are doing their homework, and they're not sitting on their hands. Fans should stay tuned because this offseason might still have one more surprise in store. And if that surprise turns out to be Asante Samuel Jr. in aqua and orange, the entire AFC East might have to start paying even closer attention. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? Ladies and gentlemen, we might be standing at the edge of one of the biggest shockwaves in recent NFL history. The rumor mill is spinning at full speed, and the latest buzz has set the football world on fire. Kyler Murray has reportedly signed with the Miami Dolphins. That's right. The dynamic, polarizing quarterback out of Arizona is said to be taking his talents to South Beach. While the Dolphins haven't made any official announcement yet, multiple league insiders are already treating this move as all but done. And honestly, if this turns out to be true, we're looking at a seismic shift in the AFC. Murray teaming up with Miami's explosive offense, that's a recipe for fireworks. But hold up, this isn't just about stats and touchdowns. It's about identity. It's about risk. And it's about what this move says about where the Dolphins and Kyler Murray are heading. Let's take a step back and look at the broader context. Kyler Murray's time in Arizona has been anything but straightforward. A former #1 overall pick, a Heisman winner, and a two-sport phenom. He was supposed to be the face of the Cardinals for the next decade. But instead, we got drama, injuries, criticism about leadership, questions about his work ethic, and a front office that never quite figured out how to build around his unique skill set. Sure, there were flashes of brilliance, those jaw-dropping scrambles, the tight window lasers, the comeback wins, but they were always followed by inconsistency and disappointment. So when the whispers started that Arizona might be ready to move on, it didn't exactly come out of left field. But Miami, that's a twist. That's a bold new chapter. And it raises a ton of questions about what this franchise is aiming for. Because, let's be real, this isn't a move you make if you're trying to play it safe. Miami already had a solid quarterback situation with Tua Tagovailoa. He's been improving every year. He knows the system, and when healthy, he's proven he can win games. But durability has always been the cloud hanging over him. The concussions, the missed time, the uncertainty, and now, with this Kyler rumor heating up, it seems like the Dolphins might be done waiting. They're not just looking for stability, they're chasing greatness. They're swinging for the fences. And if it works, they could become one of the most electric offenses in football. Just picture it. Murray rolling out of the pocket, scanning downfield and launching bombs to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. That speed, that creativity, that danger on every play. It's the stuff defensive coordinators have nightmares about. But of course, there's another side to this coin. Kyler Murray isn't exactly a plug-and-play kind of quarterback. He demands a system built around his strengths. Fast tempo, spread formations, freedom to improvise. That's not a bad thing, but it requires total buy-in from the coaching staff, and it puts pressure on everyone else to adapt. Can Mike McDaniel, one of the most innovative young minds in the game, reshape the Dolphins' offense around Murray's style? It's a fascinating question, because McDaniel has shown flashes of genius, but he's also had some growing pains. Now, with a quarterback like Murray, someone with such a unique skill set and personality, the stakes are even higher. This isn't just a quarterback change. It's a cultural shift. It's a philosophical gamble. And it's going to define the next chapter of the Dolphins' story, for better or worse. Financially, too. This move is massive. Murray signed a monster extension with Arizona. We're talking 5 years, $230.5 million with over $160 million. Guaranteed. If the Dolphins are absorbing that deal, it means they're all in. It means they're willing to take on that cap hit and build around this one player. That's a huge commitment. It affects your ability to retain talent. It puts pressure on the front office to nail the draft. And it puts Kyler in the spotlight like never before. In Arizona, he could hide behind a struggling team and a disjointed franchise. In Miami, that won't fly. The expectations will be sky high. The media scrutiny, intense. The fan base, hungry for a title. Murray will have to prove he's more than just a highlight machine, that he can lead, inspire, and elevate his team in the biggest moments. It's a tall order, but it's the price of superstardom. And then there's the Tua angle. What happens to him now? If this rumor is true, Tua becomes the odd man out, despite everything he's fought through, everything he's overcome. That's tough. It's brutal even, but that's the NFL. It's a business. And sometimes the business makes cold decisions. Tua might find himself on the trade block, or maybe he'll ride the bench for a while. Either way, his story in Miami appears to be reaching an unexpected twist. And let's not forget, he's still young. He's still talented, and there are plenty of QB-needy teams that would love to give him a fresh start. So, don't be surprised if this Murray to Miami move sets off a domino effect across the league. One quarterback move can trigger a whole chain reaction, and we might just be witnessing the first tremors. Now, if you're a Dolphins fan, you've got to be feeling a mix of excitement and anxiety. This is the kind of move that can change a franchise forever, but in which direction? That's the million-dollar question. On paper, Kyler Murray is a rare talent. He's explosive, elusive, and fearless. But he's also had his share of critics, people who question his leadership, his preparation, even his maturity. This is his chance to silence all of that, to prove that with the right environment, he can be a true franchise quarterback. And Miami, with its talent, its climate, and its progressive coaching staff, might just be the perfect fit. Or it might be the wrong place at the wrong time. The margin for error is razor thin. But if it clicks, watch out. We could be looking at the next great NFL powerhouse. What's even more intriguing is what this says about the league's quarterback landscape as a whole. The days of the traditional pocket-passing QB are fading fast. Teams want mobility, creativity, dual-threat weapons who can extend plays and stress defenses in ways we've never seen before. Kyler fits that mold perfectly. He's not just a quarterback. He's a creator, a disruptor, a highlight waiting to happen. And Miami's willingness to bet on that shows where the league is headed. It's not just about playing the game anymore. It's about breaking it, redefining it. And if Murray can stay healthy and locked in, he might just be the guy to lead that revolution. It's a gamble, no doubt. But it's the kind of gamble that could rewrite history. Of course, we still have to treat this as a rumor for now. Nothing's official. No jerseys have been held up. No press conferences scheduled. But the momentum feels real. Too many sources are pointing in the same direction. Too much smoke for there not to be fire. And if this story breaks the way it's trending, you better believe we'll be diving deep into what it means for the AFC playoff picture, for Mike McDaniel's coaching future, and for how this alters the very identity of the Dolphins moving forward. Until then, we wait, we watch, and we speculate, because that's what makes this league so damn addictive. Every move, every rumor, every whisper, it's all part of the drama. So buckle up, folks. Whether you're a diehard Dolphins fan, a Kyler Murray believer, or just an NFL junkie living for the next big shakeup, this is the kind of moment you live for. The kind of storyline that reminds you why you fell in love with football in the first place. A young, controversial star, a hungry, rising team, a bold, polarizing decision. It's got all the ingredients of a classic NFL saga. And if this rumor turns into reality, the league will never be the same. Stay tuned, hit that like button, subscribe for updates. Cause trust me, we're just getting started. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up!